Almost 2 decades ago, Microsoft made a promise. This promise was a future-enhanced free gaming with a product that would change everything. And for a brief moment it did. But today, we barely hear about it, forgotten in history as nothing more than a memory. But what went wrong? How did something so ahead of its time fail? Well, let's take a look at how Kinect started. In 2008, Microsoft acquired a startup company called 3DV Systems, an Israeli company that specialized in depth sensing cameras. Then they would partner with another Israeli company named PrimeSense. These guys would create a unique 3D sensing technology that could map out an entire room in real time by using infrared sensors. This wasn't just any camera, it was a camera that could track movements by seeing in 3D. Microsoft quickly licensed the tech, then put their resources behind it to reach their goal of turning it into something affordable and game ready. But building the Kinect wasn't so easy. Later down the line of development, they would need to add things like an RGB camera, depth sensors, and a multi-array microphone to allow the system to track things like your position, voice, and even your face. But all in one sleek bar. This was a crazy challenge. Behind closed doors, the project would be called Natal, named after the hometown of one of its developers, and Project Natal had a lot more challenges that it would face. Because at this time, Microsoft was in scrambles, trying to create the next big hit in the gaming industry, looking for new ways to compete against its rivals, with a very notable one being Sony's PlayStation. And one of these new ways for them to compete was to release their products earlier than everyone else. This meant they had to be risky with faster development, newer tech, and hiring the best team possible to push this tech out quickly. So after just 20 months of development, in 2009 at E3, Microsoft would unveil Project Natal to the world. The brand new motion sensing camera that would allow players to control games with just their body. And it was an instant hit. Suddenly the future of gaming was here, making the world excited. Microsoft pushed for it hard with advertisements, partnerships, big celebrities, and a marketing budget so big that they were certain that this was the future of gaming. After the big push, in 2010, Kinect would officially launch for the Xbox 360, becoming the fastest selling piece of tech of its time, with over 7.5 million units sold in just 55 days. This product was massive, and for some time it was the face of console gaming. But with all its ambition, Kinect had run into some major problems. You see, in order to use it, you needed a lot of space. Lighting had to be just right, and even after you've set up the perfect environment, tracking was still inconsistent. And what's even worse is that gamers simply didn't care to see this tech improve. Hardcore Xbox fans who love playing games like Halo, Forza, and many more games sadly found very little reason to use it, other than every once in a while to use a voice command. The novelty of Kinect had worn off very quickly, and developers noticed. But despite its low interest from its users, Microsoft wasn't done with the Kinect just yet, because in 2013, Microsoft would announce their next big product, Xbox One. But this time Kinect was built in better than ever, with a new 1080p camera, new sensors, and most importantly, better tracking. But there was a catch that would ultimately become Microsoft's biggest mistake. You see, every Xbox had to come with Kinect, and the timing of its release didn't help it either, as its rival console PlayStation 4 was $100 less than the Xbox One. Not only that, but Microsoft at this time would push for DRM restrictions as well as online check-ins, making the release of Xbox One a total disaster. Microsoft knew very well that Sony would capitalize on this, so they had to make a decision. In 2014, Kinect was no longer required to come with Xbox One, dropping its requirement entirely. To no surprise, sales would rise again as you would no longer be paying extra for a unit lots of gamers didn't use. The damage to its reputation had been done. With fewer sales with Xbox One bundles, Kinect games were almost non-existent due to the lack of interest in even purchasing the Kinect itself. And by 2016, Microsoft would officially stop making new Kinect games, leading up to them discontinuing the Kinect altogether in 2017. In just 7 years, Kinect had gone from being revolutionary to irrelevant. From a simple mistake or Kinect being a bad product is for you to decide. Now, Kinect wasn't a total failure. In fact, this technology still lives on through other things like robotics and motion capture, just sadly not through gaming. But that's it for this video. If you liked it, feel free to subscribe, and yeah, peace.